What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Listen, so I have to talk about this. Um, Shakur Stevenson. Now, we've went down this road before with Shakur Stevenson, and I have some things that I want to basically add and say. And I watched an interview with Tim Bradley. Now, I saw the fight with Shakur. And I watched an interview. And Tim Bradley actually touched on a whole lot of shit that I've already said about Shakur. A whole lot. And going into the night of the fight that he just had, he said a whole lot of things I've said about promotions. And how people don't want to put certain fights together. He said a whole lot of things. Now, I'm going to get into that as well. First of all, for Shakur Stevenson, if you guys saw my last video, I told you guys, people are sleeping on Shakur because they find his style boring. But I'm not quick to say that certain guys that they're saying would beat Shakur, even though their fights were more exciting. Okay, the Frank Martins of the world, the Keyshawn Davises of the world. Now, the way that Shakur fights, if you was to watch a Floyd Mayweather fight right now and watch it, you would say, damn, wait, Floyd was more excited than him. He was. Yet Floyd was getting criticism. Oh, man, he just run. And I'm like, you call a motherfucker standing in front of you running? He's not throwing 4 or 5 punch combinations like he was when he was Pretty Boy, okay? But he's winning these fights and he's breaking the opponents down and completely outclassing them. That's not... Shakur is outclassing guys. But you see, there's a difference. It's one thing to be skillful and cautious. It's another thing to be cautious and worried. Shakur Stevenson, here's the problem. He has a big-ass ego. I told you guys before. That's why when I was listening to Tim, I'm like, deja vu. Shakur, and you hear me saying you guys can't take somebody else's situation and then say, oh, but what about this and this and this? We don't know all of the details of why certain fights don't happen versus why they do. Now, in talking about that, I forget the guy name that he was talking to, but he goes, sometimes he's on that show with Sean Porter as well. He's one of the guys that's in there sometime. But anyway, he's telling the story about how he said, well, the reason they were talking about the Manny Pacquiao and Crawford fight when it was talked about why it didn't happen. Now, Tim says, I don't think Pacquiao really wanted to fight against Terrence Crawford, and that some dude he named said that basically Terrence Crawford moves a lot. He can punch, he can move, he can box. Pacquiao's an aging fighter, and also he wanted 20 million for that fight. And so he's like, you want me to fight these young warriors? Like, you know, you're going to pay me this and that. So you see, when a fan builds this, my fighter is invincible. This guy is not afraid of anybody. You guys don't get it. That's why I say a lot of times I don't even want to talk to a lot of people because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just talking. They're just running their mouth and talking. The type of money you're asking for, and like I'm saying, like he made the perfect example. Sometimes I wonder. I know these people see my videos. I know that. I know a whole lot of people. They'll watch. They might not comment, but they'll watch. And I said a long time ago, like when we were talking about remember when I said for Terrence Crawford to say he wants 25 million in order to fight Boots Anderson. You got idiots talking about, so put up the 25 million. How are they going to put up something they never made? Boots ain't never made no 25 million in one fight. He might not even gross 25 million with it in his whole career. Y'all talking about him putting up 25 million. And I said, okay, wait. So do you think that Terrence Crawford is going to get close to 25 million fighting this guy he's about to fight? But there's a belt on the line. I ain't asking about no fucking belt. There's a belt on the line with Boots as well. And it's the same belt that they stripped him of. So we're not talking about that. But he's trying to make history. Okay, plain and simple. If these people say, hey, listen, forget that fight at 154 for you know, to get a title at 154. Hey, we offering you $50 million to go up to 160. It's no belt on the line, but it's an opponent. $50 million versus whatever they're going to pay him in a belt. What you think he'd have done? Okay, so it's all about money. And Terrence Crawford came out of his face and said it's always about the money. And he also says he don't care what the fans think, right? I'm at the point I can do what the fuck I want to do. See, all of these guys that say these things, there's always somebody else trying to mimic them. And they're trying to mimic somebody else. Crawford's not going to make close to no 20 million, 25. No, he's not going to make close to that fighting this guy. And pretty much, it doesn't matter. Like the other guy goes, oh, you know, the Saudis got deep pockets. Yeah, that ain't the point. They're not going to pay him that to fight. Not this guy. They're going to pay him that for this guy. Nobody knows this guy. Guy with 10 fucking fights. They're going to pay him 25 million. So when I'm saying he's not going to get that. So if it's all about the money itself, right? If it's just about the money, who else is he going to fight and get that? Canelo don't want to fight him. And Crawford don't want to go to 168. Why would he? So he's in a position of, well, who am I going to fight to get 25 million? You came up with that price and told yourself you're worth 25 million. Bradley said the same thing I've been telling you guys. When these guys make a certain amount of money, they don't want to make less than that in the next fight. They want to make more. They don't even want to make the same. They want to make more. So when I'm telling you guys, there's not many superstars in boxing. I know what I'm talking about. A superstar can fill out whatever arena, no matter who the dance partner is. How many people in boxing can we sit there and say can do that right now? And this is what I'm saying. It's the dance partner that you have. They brought up the point that Oscar Valdez, since that fight, Shakur hasn't had any fights with anybody that was really meaningful. So after the Oscar Valdez fight, that was like maybe 5 fights ago or something like that. So 5 or 6 fights ago. So bottom line is for Shakur to ask for, he want this amount of money, that amount of money. They brought up the fact that he pretty much is turning down, what they say, a $15 million fight, forget for how many fights or whatever it is, $15 million, and he's turning it down. Once again, if you can't sell tickets, you don't put asses in those seats, you're asking for money that they're going to lose money on you. They're not going to pay you that. So even, for example, with the Lomachenko fight, he's talking about how Loma, made it seem like they was going to fight. Then all of a sudden, there was no fight. Then they said, right now, from what they hear, that Tank and Loma team is in negotiations. And from what they hear, that the fight is almost done. And I've been telling you guys, that's the fight that needs to happen. You got to understand, when we talk about star power, see, Shakur's ego. Here's the thing. Shakur is skillful, y'all. All right, let's not be stupid. Shakur is skillful. He's just boring. The points that they made is something that I said years ago. And this generation, they would consider Ali boring in a lot of fights that he had with dancing and moving. They would consider Pernell Whitaker boring. Technicians, whatever, they are considered boring because they represent what the sweet science is. Where now everybody's just knockout hungry. And really, ever since Mike Tyson and Chavez, it's like that's when I started to notice a shift in people not really caring so much for the boxing aspect. It started to just change little by little. Tim Bradley is saying, I don't want to see the sweet science go away. And this is what people got to understand. The sweet science don't mean boring. No. But at the same time, if I'm training my fighter, I don't want my fighter to stand there and be a human pincushion. Tim Bradley said in the Provodnikov fight, there's things that he's still feeling effects from right now to this day because of that fight. And like he told Shakur, if you go to the hospital, these fans ain't going to go to the hospital with you. And at the end of the day, you have a choice to make. Are you going to continue to box and just find more ways to engage and bring some more excitement to your repertoire, or are you going to just complain and argue with everybody because they're saying you're boring? Because pretty much, he's now in the same exact predicament that Devin Haney was in. Remember Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson was like, this nigga got booed in his own hometown. Yeah. Now you just got booed in your own hometown, Shakur. And they were showing people walking out the building leaving. Okay? And he, as much props and credit that Tim Bradley gives Shakur Stevenson, he goes after at Tim Bradley and says Tim Bradley was paid to say that shit, talking about he needed a coffee because, to stay up. Bro, the fight was boring, man. Yeah, it was boring. I appreciate and love the sweet science of boxing. Once again, the sweet science does not mean boring. It's the fighter and what they bring to the table. Shakur Stevenson will beat most of those dudes pretty much. I don't think he beats Tank. The problem with him and Lomachenko, I don't think he knocks Lomachenko out at all. And I feel like if it goes a decision, he probably ends up, because Lomachenko is going to make him fight. He's going to bring the fight to Shakur. And if Shakur is slipping, moving, bow, snapping that head back, landing clean blows and making him miss, right is right. I don't want to see them say, oh, well, he was landing shots, but he was moving too much or whatever. No, because if he's not getting hit and he's landing shots, you can't tell a fighter how to fight you. But what I'm saying, that's my point with Shakur, is Shakur, even for him to win, he will still win in a boring fashion. So unless he is like landing big shots and getting out the way, where it's clear that his opponent isn't hitting anything, he's pretty much not going to win the crowd over. He's not going to be a big superstar. He'll be a guy that even if he wins but continues to win in a boring fashion, people won't care because they don't like the way he fight. Now, either you're going to focus on the fans and what they're saying, or you just going to say, you know what, I got to figure out how to do what I'm doing or keep doing what I'm doing, just try to elevate my game. Because true. Like Tim said, I've been telling, plain and simple, how you going to say fuck the fans? That's why when I said the same thing about Terrence Crawford, no different. I'm at the point where I could do what I want to do. I don't care what no fans say. I don't care how they feel. Fuck them. That's what he said. Okay? Canelo with that whole, I do whatever I want to do. I'm Mexican and all that. Okay, so what does that mean? Fuck what y'all want. It's about what I want to do. Okay? Difference is, Canelo fights are not considered boring. Okay? He comes and he fights. Okay, Terrence Crawford does fight, but he's a boxer, but he fights. Okay, but at the same time, you look at what Shakur is doing. That's exactly what he's doing. He's looking at what other people done. Who got paid what? I'm better than him though. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, you got booed in your hometown. People was walking out. So the same thing that you laughed at Devin Haney about as far as saying he got booed. Okay, well, now, and remember I said he went in there sucking off Lomachenko, doing all of this. Loma won, he should be the champion. And remember what I said? They applauded that. But the second he went into business for himself, talking about how, oh, he'll do this and that to Haney, he ain't get no reaction for that. Nobody cared about Shakur Stevenson. Shakur needs the right dance partner for a fight to sell as well. He's not no superstar. He's not even a big star at all. He's not a star at all. And his popularity, his popularity is not where his ego is. He thinks that he's up here. So when he's thinking that I should make this amount of money and that amount of money, bro, at the end of the day, do you know how many fighters wish they could make $3 million? But the whole thing, greed, and then Tim Bradley brought up a great point too about patience and about loyalty. Because yes, when you start going on these social media platforms and you're taking shots at your management team and you're saying all these things, bro, when things are going wrong and you're still not getting those fights, then it becomes, okay, well, if your management team isn't doing anything, if your promotion isn't doing anything, what are you going to do different? So if you sign to a company and you're still not getting the fights you want, then what do you do differently? Because it's obvious there has to be a change, right? Or you're still going to be complaining about the same things. Shakur Stevenson dominated this guy. It was just boring as hell. Yeah, that it was boring. Okay? And as much praise as Tim Bradley do for him, now he comes after Tim Bradley. Because Tim Bradley made the comment about, I needed a coffee to stay up or whatever. Okay. And he said that the network told Tim Bradley to say that shit. I tell you what. I don't know if Tim said it on his own or if he was told to say that shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, he said what he said. And there's hardly anybody that was impressed with that win. I mean, you won. There's no denying he won. There's a difference, though, in him being marketable. And that's why a while ago I told you guys, go look at Michael Nunn fights. And they was talking about Michael Nunn doesn't have a crowd-pleasing style. Michael Nunn engaged far more than this dude. I don't know what they're talking about because Michael Nunn used to get it in. But you see, that's the part of boxing when I'm saying, why does everybody think you're supposed to stand, tuck your chin, and just start swinging punches? Like, it's not boxing, bro. And boxing, it's you have your brawlers, you have your boxing, your technicians, you have your boxer punchers, your pure boxers, you have all of this. So it's no one particular thing. But I wouldn't train my fighter to be a stupid fighter. You understand what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, are you going to add things to your repertoire? Do you understand what you need to figure out? You're in the corner arguing with your grandfather. That right there, and I'm like, his ego, man. You should know what you're doing in that ring. Yeah, you should know. But also, you want to know what your grandfather is telling you? See, you're doing what you're doing. You're trying to play it safe. And you know what you fail to realize about yourself? The people that you have to connect with is your fans, the boxing fans. So you think that insulting them, telling them, I don't care what they think, you're saying the same shit that Crawford and other fighters have said because they want to do what they want to do, right? Now, like Tim said, and I agree, when you play the villain, people hate you more, but they watch you more. Now they're more interested to see what happens because they want to see somebody knock your ass out. So if you manage to keep winning, they keep coming out. Like Skip Bayless said, I just want to be there to say I saw when Floyd Mayweather got beat by McGregor and it never happened. But that's how that goes, right? Here's the thing with Shakur, though. See, he's going at people that's not even saying he suck and he's boring. People that's just telling him, yo, Shakur, you got to engage more, man. Like, you know, listen, your style is your style. I told you guys, you look at him, if somebody brings any real pressure to him, and especially if they can punch, he's not going to stand in the pocket like that. Believe me, if he survives a punch from Tank, he's not going to want to get a second one or a third one. So, believe me, he'll be that much more apprehensive to throw punches. He knows, and the thing about it with Shakur is, see, Shakur has never been in a dogfight. He hasn't been in a dogfight yet. So he doesn't really truly know how he'd react if he's in one. Do you think that Tank Davis is going to stand there and try to pit-pat with him? No, Tank is going to come to try to break him down. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even when Shakur tried to get the guy to commit, to turn around and say the guy didn't come to fight, like, stop, man. That guy came to fight. That guy was in front of you. You was outclassing him. You wasn't as easy to hit as he would like you to have been. And he was trying to find ways to get it to you as well. But, you know, to say he didn't come to fight, no, that's not. Come on, Shakur. You making all these excuses up and you arguing with all these people on social media about everything. You're arguing with people because they're saying that your style is boring, right? Step your game up. Step your game up. Now, as far as the other fighters, see, now you're in the same position as Haney. Shakur and everybody. Ryan Garcia need to shut the fuck up. You a drug cheat. You have no right to say nothing about nobody's fight. Fuck you. But he basically, all these people tell me, oh, he's boring. Wasn't y'all all saying the same shit about Devin Haney? And you watch any Devin Haney fight, he's far more action-packed than Shakur Stevenson is. Shakur Stevenson was dominating at 130. He's not at 135. He's winning and he's dominating as far as winning rounds, but he's not doing it in a way where people really care to see it again. So if this Tank Lomachenko fight is really being finalized, the way Tim said that he's hearing about it, well, that's the fight that's supposed to happen. That's the fight that needs to happen. And then once again, Shakur, you're going to find yourself doing what? Crossing your fingers and trying to wait for the winner, or are you going to go out there and make something happen? See, right now, for example, a guy like Keyshawn Davis, you need to go and try to, okay, you know what? Let's me and Keyshawn get it on. Frank Martin just came off of a loss, so it will make more sense to fight Keyshawn Davis, okay? Because that will make you look like a real desperate person. Like, all right, you're trying to make a statement, fighting Tank's leftovers. You see what I'm saying? That you know the way the boxing world thinks, okay? Look, it's like, for example, I was laughing with one of my family members one day, right? Because he was playing his old soul music, and he was sitting there with his eyes closed. Right? I started laughing, right? And he said, "You laughing at, nephew?" I said, "I'm laughing at you." He said, "What'd I do?" And I looked at him, right? I said, "Man, you know what's funny?" I said, "That music you listening to, you shaking your head with your eyes closed, you making all these faces, you feeling it, right?" I said, "It's funny. I'm looking at all these people running around here right now, these young boys, young girls, they don't give a shit about that music. Like, they'll look at you like, what the hell are you listening to?" That's what they'll be thinking, right? Somebody can remix that same song and they'll be going, "Oh, this is fire. This busting right here," right? He start laughing. I know, yeah, right? And no sooner than I said that, when the kids go, what you listening to? Right? And he's like, "That's funeral music?" And everybody just started laughing. I said, "Well, I told you." So to you, you feeling it. You feeling the music, the way they singing it, what they talking about. These kids don't care nothing about that. That's how boxing is. They don't care. They don't care. And I'm not telling you abandon the sweet science. No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, you don't have to do that at all. You just, as an individual, have to find how to step your game up to get wins. Where, Haney wasn't knocking people out, but he was beating people up, and that was his criticism. The criticism was he can't knock nobody out. It wasn't so much he was bored. The fighters were saying that. "Oh, he's boring, low Tiafimo, all of them Riley, all of them Ryan. He boring." Tank was saying the same thing. But at the same time, it's like the dude is letting his hands go. Shakur is not letting his hands go. He's not letting his hands go. And also, now when you look at where Shakur stands, how many people really truthfully, confidently feel like he beat Tank? And y'all was the ones talking about only person could beat Tank is Shakur. And I'm like, I don't know where y'all get that from. This dude don't punch no harder than Devin Haney. He don't have no more of a better IQ than Devin Haney. Him and Haney are very similar. Very, very similar. He's more cautious and more hesitant than Devin Haney. That's about it. And I think he's a little bit better on the inside. He's more comfortable on the inside than Devin Haney is. Devin will go to the body, but I think Shakur is a little more comfortable in that pocket. But I mean, there's no Shakur's here. No, they're like right here with each other, man. And it all comes down to patience and IQ. Like, okay, I know what I need to do. See, whereas Devin Haney already understands, he should stick to your fight. Understand when to do things and how. Don't worry about trying to outdo somebody else. And that's part of why fighters have, their game plans blow up in their face. You're not the kind of puncher that Tank is. You're not the same type of fighter. You're different. You can't go in there trying to beat somebody you're not. Okay? So, this is where, right now, Shakur has to make decisions. Are you going to worry about what the fans are saying and try to change your style to be more crowd-pleasing, where you're going after fighters trying to be more aggressive, or are you going to be more cerebral about your attack? Put punches together better. But you see what people got to understand. He doesn't hit as hard as he really need to really get these guys out of here. So for him to take more risks and take more chances, he will be putting himself in harm's way by trying to throw more punches. He knows that. And that's something he's not going to change for anybody. That's just who he is. Now, can he double and triple up on his jab more? Create more openings? I don't know if he can do that. We have to see. But once again, he's going to fight how he feels comfortable. You understand what I mean? It's like I used to tell people used to compare Bo Jackson to Herschel Walker. And I'm like, they're different. Same weight, right? Same number, right? Bo Jackson will truck you. Bo Jackson came out that backfield like a horse, man, out the gate. Herschel Walker ran on his tiptoes, man. Come to find out, he did ballet. So I'm like, yeah, he literally. You watch Herschel, he finesse player, big dude, just like her, like Bo, but he come up there hopping and skipping on his toes. He wasn't explosive like Bo. Two completely different type of guys, man. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities with Shakur and with Haney, but the things that make them different, two guys with a high ring IQ, and that's the thing. What I'm saying is like just think about this. Most of the people thought Regis was going to beat Devin Haney. You see how Devin Haney fought Regis though? That's using your head. That's Devin Haney took it to a level that night where he dominated Regis. Then people, oh, big deal, he beat Regis. Like, no, y'all wasn't saying it before the fight. And even Shakur thought that Regis was going to win. So here's my thing. He's putting himself on a pedestal. Like he's so much bigger than the sport of boxing. Like I should be getting paid this and this. They don't love the sport of boxing. They train to make the money. They have the love for the money, but they know what type of shape they have to get in and what they have to go through to get to the money. And the problem is you guys are trying to ask for something that you're not worth. But your ego is telling you that you're better than this guy, and this guy. And also, if people don't want to get in there and fight you, I agree with Tim on that too. I feel like, yeah, they look at Shakur, they know, yeah, he got that kind of style, man, where you're looking for the punches and he's not there. When he has that boring-ass style. But he said the same thing that I said about Haney and everybody else. If he's so boring, right, he's so pillow-fisted, why don't you come knock him the fuck out, take his belt, and shut his mouth up? And this is what I've been saying for the longest. But, when you're not marketable, it's like make the comparison to the poetic rapper, to the, La La Land rapper. You spitting all these, but now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about somebody completely garbage. I'm talking about somebody who's not known to be that lyrical, but they just make songs that connect with the people. Okay, even if they are garbage, okay, but they somehow connect with the people. And you spitting all this lyrical shit, double entendres, all these, 5-syllable words and all this. Yeah, okay, I got you. But you can't sell records. So how can you translate this over to music to where you can make it connect to the people? And then when you can't connect to the people, you start saying that this other guy's trash. Y'all like bullshit. Y'all don't know real hip hop. Hey, your style is your style. You chose that. You can't hate somebody else's style because yours is not working. So this is where Shakur is going to have to understand. You got to find a way to get things done at 135 where you can connect with the fans again. Otherwise, you can argue all you want. You can try to make all the points that you want. You can do all of that, but it's not going to make them change their opinion on what you're doing. And I'm saying, I love the whole idea of the sweet science. But that style that he uses, that fight was just a boring ass fight. And I respect I respect Shakur's skills. Okay? But you're boring as fuck. So you hear people say shit like, what did they say? Oh, Tiafimo. And I get where they were coming from with that, because this was a thing where it's like, y'all. I already know where they were coming from with that. But at the same time, they were saying, oh, Tiafimo wins a 12-round decision and it's okay. They said Shakur Stevenson wins a 12-round decision and it's okay. Shakur Stevenson won a 12-round decision and all of a sudden he's boring. Yeah, but you got to understand. Tio's fight, he was fighting. He won the fight. It wasn't the most entertaining fight, but honestly, let's be real. And y'all know I don't have no love for Tiafimo. He was far more active and more, engaged in what he was doing than what Shakur was doing. Let's be real. I mean, either fight to me, I didn't care for the Tiafimo fight either. It's just something to watch. But yeah, man, come on. That fight that Shakur just had was boring. And Shakur, if you can't put asses in seats. Okay, Tim Bradley brought up another point. You were the hometown guy, so they came out to Newark at the Prudential Center. That's where you guys were at, right? Okay, and you were able to get the people to come in. But again, what happens when you go on the road? You see, and this is my point. You're not even at a point where people feel like I just want to see him get knocked out. You're at a point still like that, man. This dude is boring as hell. I don't want to see him fight. That's where you are. And if you have another lackluster performance, like, what do you expect people to do, man? What do you expect them to do? You feel like the world is against you. Everybody's laughing at you. They're talking and saying, but see, wait, Shakur, you one of the first people to go jump on social media as soon as somebody fight and give your opinion, always talking about what you would have did to that fighter. They're not on your level. But then as soon as somebody gives you a dose of your own medicine, now all of a sudden you're crying. And Tim Bradley also said the same thing I've been saying. You guys are a bunch of spoiled ass brats. You guys know, go back 2, 3, 4 years. I've been saying the same shit. You guys are a bunch of spoiled little brats. Y'all just bitch and complain about everything. Oh, I want this kind of money. I want that kind of money. Oh, I want this. Y'all talk. But then, like example, right? When you turn fights down, look, let me explain something to you. If I fought Anthony Joshua right now and I made $25 million fighting Anthony Joshua, and let's just say my next fight is against Dillian White, and they say, well, Aries, this is going to be $7 million. Okay, I can look at it this way. What's the next biggest fight that I can get outside of other than the AJ fight now? And they say, right now, Dylan would be the biggest because just say Parker's already locked into a fight. Usyk is locked in, or whoever. Anything else is going to be lower than $7 million. Okay, I got two options. Either I take the $7 million or I wait it out. If I want to keep busy, why would I turn the $7 million down? But that's a big drop from 25. Yeah. But it's $7 million or nothing at all to go with that 25. Now you what makes sense to you? So you understand what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with the $7 million. Can anybody guarantee me that I'm going to have another fight with anybody else that's going to be more than $7 million? And I just was told that this is what's on the table right now. Okay, so you take it or leave it. So I take the $7 million. Okay. Now, let's say after that, same thing. What's next? Your promoter is trying to get you the most money they possibly can get you. Okay? If I'm knocking everybody out, or bottom line, I'm beating the shit out of people, I'm exciting, everybody want to see me, then guess what? People will pay. But what I'm not going to do is try to hold people hostage. I'm not going to try to jack my price up to where pay me this or there's no fight. No, because when you're easy to work with and you go in there and stand on business, the money will come. And if I already made it $25 million, there will be no problem with me getting another big money fight like that. $7 million is not a small amount. Okay? So just saying. So now, yeah, it's a big drop from 25, but now I'm winning. And guess what? I'm active. People will see me. I'm destroying people. So if I went in and destroyed somebody, if I went in and go destroy Dillian White for that $7 million, they're like, yo, this dude Aries, yeah, I want to see him again. Now I go in there, I fight somebody else for $9 million. Guess what? If I'm sitting here bitching about the money, at $9 million, I'm a millionaire. I'm already a millionaire at $9 million. So I just made $7 million, just made $25 million before. So do you see the point what I'm saying to you? So no, every fight, you're not going to get the same amount of money. And it depends on who your dance partner is and can y'all pack out a bill. Like, you understand? Then what type of undercard you have. All of these things that people overlook. Tim Bradley brought all that shit up. Haven't I been saying these same fucking things for years now? Because people overlook the business side of things. So if I'm in there having lackluster performances, right? And I'm there talking about I'm better than everybody, I'm the best fighter in the world, I deserve X amount and X amount, then people at some point they get tired of hearing your mouth. You're still viable, you're still able to go in there and fight, so you're there, but it's like, all right, man, this guy's difficult. But you go in there, you stand on business, you earn your keep. Y'all just want shit. Y'all want to jack prices up. I can sit here and write some masterful shit right now. Call somebody and say, hey, listen, man, you hear this shit I wrote? This shit is incredible. Yo, you need to give me this kind of deal, that kind of deal right now, because ain't nobody else writing on this. No, man, you have to go out there and show and prove. You got to go out there and put things together. And it's like, example, what's important to you as an artist? Do you want to be a rapper or do you want to be a rap artist? Because if you want to be just a rapper, then you're satisfied with just spitting bars and the people in your circle going, oh my, this motherfucker say such and such a thing, right? They over here dancing to this person. Every time you go to the clubs, his music is playing. He's selling millions of records. Now, it's all different now. Everything is about singles, not about albums anymore. It's about singles and whatever. But bottom line, y'all get the point what I'm saying. If this person's success rate, they're keeping up with what's going on, they're able to keep the records out and keep the people's interest. You're over here spitting all this masterful shit, but you're broke. You're not making the kind of money you want. Nobody notices you. Do you understand? So how do I change this? These are things you got to just figure out. Shakur, that's where he is right now. And I think what's frustrating him is, what is Shakur going to really do different? As I said, all these things, listen, we can sit here and imagine in our heads all we want about what he could do or what he should have did or whatever. He has to feel comfortable doing it. And the more he engages, the more he opens himself up to get hit. And he knows he doesn't pack a big punch. He knows that. So what do you think he's going to do? And that's part of his frustration, because it's like, man, these people, look, and it's obvious to have the type of skills he got, the reflexes, all that, the instincts, these are things he work on. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that he does the way, things the way he do. But one, you need to stop arguing with your corner. You don't need them. Like Tim said, okay, you want me to just give you water, no instructions, no problem, right? Because pretty much that's what it's saying like you need, like you think you want. But at the same time, I don't know if his grandfather was thinking about the money situation. But you have to understand all that, man. Listen, if you are here putting people to sleep, nobody's going to want to book you again, man. Like, where do you stand on the card? You got people talking about, yo, you should have been like the opening fight, not the main event. You fight like the undercard guys. The undercard fights are better than you. And listen, man, let me say this while I'm at it. Salute to Carmel Moulton, man, because that kid is good. He is good. And if he stays focused, don't start getting caught up in nonsense, and he stay focused, live a positive lifestyle, stay focused on his craft. That dude is good. He's good. He is good. And that's and you got to understand, when you're the main event, but there's, what's the other dude? Is it Abdullah Mason is his name? What's his name? The other kid, Abdullah something. I think it's Mason. But yeah, I mean, yeah, when the undercard fights is better than the main event. You get mad at the wrong people. I mean, you chose to go in there and fight that style, right? So can't get mad at the people. And let's just be honest, when you see people who can put a show on and go in there and win versus someone who's just in there tit-tapping, pit-patting, he's boxing, he's moving, but at the same time, people are just not feeling what he's doing. That's why I told you guys before, when you looking at what a fighter can do, it's not about, look, I don't need to use my imagination about what a fighter can do. I look at what a fighter is doing. It's what they're capable of doing. All right? And when you're arguing with your corner, okay, you're showing you have no faith in your corner. Even if you feel like you want to go out and not do what they're asking you, you don't need to sit here and argue with them. You're going back and forth, and I'm like, nah, bro, this is like definitely unprofessional, but this is cringeworthy right here. Like, what are you doing, man? And I'm telling you, the boy's ego. See, y'all come up here, sucking these fighters off, making them, feel like they're bigger than what they are. They're just human beings, man. That's all they are. Human beings. That's all y'all are. That's all of us are. That's all. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm looking down on myself. Of course not. Sure. No, you don't look down on yourself. But stop putting people on these pedestals. These fighters act like they're doing the fans a favor. Let me explain this to you guys. When you watch a fight, All you doing is getting to see a good fight. That's all. You're giving your money to watch these people fight. So without your money, they don't become rich. And they're going to tell you, I don't care what these fans think. I don't care what these people think. I don't care. Yeah, fuck them, right? I do what I want to do. They tell you all this stuff, and y'all sit up here and support these people like religiously, right? Like you guys are like some of these people. They make it seem as though that's just the natural order of thing. But I'm supposed to, nah. That's all. They're not doing no favors, man. They're paid to go in there and fight. This is the hurt business. Nobody's telling you go in there and try to purposely get brain damage. No, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you feel comfortable fighting the way you do, then stick to it and ignore these people. Because they're gonna say what they're gonna say. Or try to find ways to incorporate different things into your arsenal. That's because you keep telling how you're the best fighter in the world. You keep saying it. It's just like voting, right? Or not voting. Not voting is the same as voting. You can say, nah, if you don't vote, you're cool with the way things are. Or you don't have any confidence that this next person will change things to be better than what they are. Okay? Now, if you don't care, you're not voting, you don't even know what's going on, that's a whole different situation, right? But if you're in tune with what's happening and you just choose to not vote, then yeah, not voting is the same as voting. It's like saying, I vote for you. I'm cool with the way things are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, you have choices to make, man. I don't think Shakur Stevenson, look, let me say it this way. I don't think he knocks out Keyshawn Davis. I think that once again, Keyshawn being green in just areas I could see where I can see Shakur countering, making him miss, making him pay, and staying out of harm's way of Keyshawn Davis's combinations. Does Keyshawn get desperate? Does he start coming in, getting careless, kind of abandoning his defense to try to land something because he's getting angry and frustrated because he's getting hit? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how well Keyshawn can adapt. This is what I'm saying, and adjust to what he'd have to do to beat Shakur. So I give Shakur Stevenson he'll probably beat Keyshawn Davis. I think he beats Frank Martin. Okay, he beats George Kambosos. He probably beats Lomachenko, but in a boring way. This is what and so at the end of the day, the dude can fight. He's just boring as hell, man. He really is. I think Tank stretches him. Now, don't get me wrong. Keyshawn Davis got the kind of power he can stretch Shakur. It's just that he might not be able to land his shots the way he needs to, the way Keyshawn stands and plants his feet and has to try to get all his power behind his shots, whereas Shakur's on his toes and he's moving. Bottom line is, like I said before, Shakur would have to fight and beat these guys for people to believe it. So I'm not here to convince you that he will win. I'm just saying he has the type of skills where, don't listen, it doesn't matter if you don't like how he fights. I think he knows, look, he knows what he's doing. But what he doesn't understand is how to win and not be boring. That's what he doesn't know how to do. He's just a boring fighter. He's a boring fighter, and I think at 135, again, you got big punches, and he's not willing to want to get hit. It's not like I said, you're not telling him go in there and get hit on purpose, go in there and fight stupidly to please the crowd. No, I would never say nothing stupid like that. But I'm just saying he's in a position where he needs to understand what it is he has to do differently. Because Shakur Stevenson stunk up the place, and I just feel like people are not gonna really look at Shakur like wanting to really book him in big fights because they just feel like the fight's not going to sell. Now, the good thing about that is they might try to talk Tank into fighting him after this Lomachenko situation or whatever. And the difference between Tank and Loma against Shakur is this. Loma's a boxer. Shakur's a boxer. Okay. Tank is a puncher that can box. So Tank, stylistically, I think he's just too much for Shakur. I think even though Shakur is waiting and trying to, Tank knows he needs to get in. Tank's going to work his body, and he's going to make Shakur open up. And I just feel like he's going to clip him regardless. And Shakur doesn't have enough power to fight Tank to where Tank is not going to come in and be more slow to come in. And no, he's going to move. He's going to, he's going to give different looks. And Shakur is quick, but he's not faster than Tank. I don't know where that even comes from. He's not fast. See, people don't understand because Tank doesn't throw like big ass combinations. He takes his time and break you down one shot at a time, two shots at a time. That's what he does. And I just feel like Shakur would have an easier time. I think, with Lomachenko than with Tank. And I think that once Shakur starts getting touched by Tank, you see how Tank break everybody down. I don't see Shakur doing anything different other than trying to really run more and not get knocked out. And how you gonna win a decision like that? Because when he gets hit by Tank, it's gonna be flush. So if he's able to stand up and not go down from Tank shots, he's gonna be leery of getting hit with all these big shots. And Tank's gonna get his body. He's gonna Tank. I don't see Shakur beating Tank. I don't see him beating Tank. And even if he was to beat Lomachenko, it's not going to be easy. This is what I'm saying. And I feel like Loma being busier than Shakur might be enough for the decision for the judges to even for people to just look at it like, man, this dude is doing nothing but just backing up, and I think honestly. As far as Shakur goes, it wouldn't be wise for him to go up in weight. And I think that at 135, to be honest with you, I'm not going to say that he's not a 135 pounder because he has wins at 135 pounds. Okay, it's not like he's new to the division. Like what, 4 or 5 fights in? No, wait, 3 fights in? Well, bottom line, I'm not going to say he doesn't belong at 135, but he definitely doesn't have the dominance at 135 that he had at 130. And Shakur Stevenson, I just can't put my finger on him, man. It's like, look, the kid is good. But I don't see what he's going to do differently in terms of pleasing the crowd. I think we're going to just see the same Shakur Stevenson that we see. The only difference would be the opponent that he has. What type of adjustments, how he decides to fight that person. He fights Tank, he's on the back foot all night. If he's not, he's getting knocked out. One of the fights that I was thinking about too, because for Shakur, if he's not getting the fights at 135 that he wants, and he decides to go to 140, okay, let's say he does. The problem in that is fights are not just going to happen just because you go to a division when people don't care to see you fight. So I don't know what Shakur, I just don't know what it is. What is he going to do differently? What is it that he can do differently? And that's why, for me, honestly, I think right now, Shakur should try to fight Keyshawn Davis. Because for one, Keyshawn is a he can fight. Shakur's experience, we will see where he is, what he's capable of doing with a guy that has less experience than him. But is exciting to watch. Now, we'll see where he stands. There will be no more questions. Okay, he beat Keyshawn, he got him out the way. Now, he could fight Frank Martin. Frank Martin was holding his own, was doing good till he started getting tired. Then Tank started chipping him down and broke him down like he always does. He could fight Frank Martin. If it's going to come down to him versus Tank, and he just beat Keyshawn, he just beat Frank Martin, who Tank already beat, do you see the point what I'm saying? Tank will have no reason to not fight Shakur at this point. Who else is there? Especially should he beat Lomachenko. So who else is there? And this is where fighters don't understand that. So when you start looking at just the money alone, bro, you got to look at positioning. You got to look at where you rank, where you stand. Because nobody wants to just give you millions of dollars. You have to earn this shit, man. And see, the thing is, Tank's name is way bigger than yours. So even if you think you're better than Tank, to sit here and assume or demand you get the same kind of money he's getting, it's not happening. It's not happening. So I don't know. If you know, whatever goes down with him and whoever he's trying to get next, I don't know. And the reason why I said I don't think he should go up in weight is simply because he's gonna have a problem with punchers. He's gonna have the same exact situation, and people going to say, look, if he's fighting this way so timid at 135, what do you think is gonna happen when he fight punchers? Right? I'm not talking about somebody that's strong but easy to hit, flat-footed, can't really fight. I'm talking what happens when he goes in against somebody that really strong and can punch and is naturally fighting at that weight. You know, a bigger fight. What is he gonna do then? He's gonna have that same pit pat, weight back, weight, touch, weight. He's gonna do the same exact thing. I think that Shakur. Now, if he did go to 140, and I'm not saying he can't hold his own, because the kid can box, like I said, but he's boring. He goes to 140. It's like you look at the names there, same thing. What's the guarantee? Who's going to fight who? So, yeah, I think he needs to lose that chip on his shoulder. He needs to tone his arrogance and his ego down. What the hell do you have cornermen for? You're going to be arguing with them, man, and not listening to what they're telling you. But then too, you're gonna go out there and you're fighting the style you're fighting at. You're not pleasing the fans. You know, the hometown thing is just because you're from the hometown. If you wasn't from Newark, New Jersey, they wouldn't have gave a shit about you. And after that performance, so yeah, now you know what Devin Haney felt like when he got booed. And here's the thing. When somebody say you got booed in your own hometown, you know what they fail to realize is that, okay, you're fighting somebody that have a lot of people in this country from their country, and they came out, and yeah, you had a whole lot of them in the audience. But at the same time, yeah, he got booed. You got booed too. Yeah, you got booed too. And and people was leaving. So just saying. If you are gonna, and you gotta understand something too, and this is why I always say I look at people and I'm like, listen, look at the fact that Devin Haney was stepping up, doing nothing but trying to get the bigger fights. Okay, he's been in there with Loma, he's been in there with Ryan, he's been in there with Regis, he's been in there with a lot of different good fights, Jojo Diaz and other guys. Devin Haney, if he understands, like I said, put everything together, and he should be fine, right? But Devin Haney has been in there fighting top level guys. Shakur, on the other hand, has the skill set to know how to win, but Shakur Stevenson is in a position of, until he is in there with someone that's going to force him and push him and make him fight harder, we don't even know if Shakur really have a good chin. Can we say that? We don't really know if he can take punishment. We don't know that. And this is what I'm saying. So when you have never been through a certain situation and you're fighting guys very timid and you haven't even got to the top level guys yet, I don't know. Just saying, y'all. And it's going to be hard for people to believe in him until he get in there and show people, no, I belong here, and he beat these people. In the meantime, people are not believing in Shakur Stevenson. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.